Buried deep within the brain is the pineal gland. It's about the size of a pea and is responsible for producing melatonin, used in sleep, hormonal regulation, mood, and fighting cancer. It also produces DMT, an endogenous psychedelic chemical produced mostly during sleep, birth, and death. One of the strangest things is that on the pineal gland there are light receptors, which is essentially a third eye. I mean, you would have to be very dead for outside light to reach the pineal gland. But wait a minute, I thought third eye stuff was just the realm of spirituality, not science. The Hindus have been saying that we've had a third eye for over 5,000 years, and apparently claims that this was the doorway to inner enlightenment. Rene Descartes also described the pineal gland as being the seat of the soul back in the 1600s. In fact, we can find references to the pineal gland being essential to spirituality littered throughout history, from the Eye of Horus being striking resemblance to a map of the pineal gland, to back even in the ancient Greeks, who described this as removing psychic pneuma throughout the body. Well, how is this treasured organ doing in the modern day? Not well. As you can see from these photos, our pineal gland becomes calcified over time, which stops it from working properly. Now, there's a number of potential causes, but the main culprit is fluoride. Fluoride gets added to our tap water because it helps calcium to deposit within our bodies. Now, this is absolutely fantastic for our teeth, but it is not so great for our brains and has been scientifically proven to damage the pineal gland. This can lead to neurodegenerative disorders such as schizophrenia and Alzheimer's. And what on earth do we think it might be doing to our spiritual development, if the pineal gland is supposed to be the seat of the soul? Well, I wanted to try and decalcify my pineal gland, and I set out on a 30-day challenge to try to do so. It completely and utterly changed my life. I had a terrible cold for the whole of the first week. I'm now at the end of the second week and I'm just filming. I'm going to let you know everything that I've done and how it's going so far. So the first most important thing is to remove fluoride. Now, it's fairly easy to find fluoride-free toothpaste. I just picked this one up off of Amazon and I'll link it down below. But finding a filter which removes fluoride is kind of more difficult. I can only find 2 brands in the UK which do this. So the first is Berkeley. They're a bit bigger, they're a bit of an investment. But the second one is Zero Water, which is kind of more of a normal filter jug. And that basically removes everything from the water apart from the water. They'll give you a little gadget so you can actually see and test this yourself, which is really reassuring. The next really important thing is sunlight, and getting sunlight first thing in the morning massively resets your circadian rhythm. Because the pineal gland is involved in sleep and producing melatonin, this is really helpful for the pineal gland. There's actually an ancient practice called sun gazing, which I was doing myself. And this is where you stare directly at the sun. Now, it has to be done during the first hour of sunrise or right before sunset, because this is the least damaging to the eyes. But you just stare directly at the sun, and you have to do any kind of sun practice actually outside. It cannot be through the glass because the windows will actually distort the sun's rays. The next most important thing is meditation. Now, I couldn't find any hard and fast rules on this, but essentially I just did 15 minutes of meditation in the morning and the evening, focusing on the third eye center, which is just there. The next thing I did was to drink cacao. I got this from Costco. This is organic cacao, and it's like kind of used in Central Americas as part of a lot of different spiritual kind of rituals. I couldn't find very much scientific research backing up how this actually affected the pineal gland, but I read so many articles that it said it, and I think it's just delicious enough that it doesn't really matter. I'm more than happy to drink cacao every day, which is what I've been doing. Another supplement I'm taking is oregano oil. Oregano oil is a fantastically powerful antibiotic substance which can help with all sorts of different health conditions and really gives your body a proper cleanse. There were some scientific studies done where they looked at the effect of it on rats the rats which had oregano oil, once they were irradiated to death, which is horrible, their brains showed far less oxidative damage and structural damage, less structural damage than the brains of the rats who hadn't had the oregano oil. There's also studies done which found that it influences genetic expression and it reduces the expression of depressive genes, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So yes, oregano oil is for the win. And that was all that I did in the first week. After the end of the first week, I was feeling better. I felt like I had a bit more energy. I was sleeping better. I was kind of feeling a little bit more in flow with myself and with the universe. And I was really enjoying it. And I kind of wanted to step it up a bit because I felt like there was more to be experienced. So I did some more research and I found that in order to produce melatonin, which is of course the main function of the pineal gland, you need two things. You need 5-HTP. You also need complete darkness. So for the second week I was doing everything that I was doing for the first week, and then I was also using a sleep mask and I was also supplementing with 5-HTP. End of the second week I have been feeling a lot better. I've had a lot more energy. I've had a lot better sleep. I feel way more in flow. I feel a lot more positive, and interestingly my appetite has been really, really decreased. But I just feel like there is something which is right at the tip of my fingertips, because it really has been a fast improvement, but I just feel like there's more. So I'm going to be stepping things up another few notches. So firstly, because I kept on waking up to find out that I had actually thrown my sleep mask all the way across the room in the morning, I got myself a new sleep mask, which I think is a little bit better. It actually has a space for the nose, and also it has a space for your eyes as well, so it's not constantly pressing on your eyes, which is quite nice, and the headphone bit works. I'm also supplementing magnesium. Now, magnesium directly affects the pineal gland, and it also influences calcium. It makes calcium come out of soft tissues and out of the blood and into your bones, which is the only place where you want it. So that seems like a fantastic thing to take. I'm really looking forward to how that's going to affect me. Again, magnesium 5-HTP, you only want to take them at the end of the night because it can really make you quite sleepy and drowsy. The other thing I'm doing is I'm going to be using some frankincense essential oil and the incense sticks. There's a lot of articles which say that frankincense is very good for the working of the pineal gland. There isn't any scientific research I can find on it, but I thought, why not just try it, because it's not going to hurt and it smells lovely. I'm also going to be using beetroots, and I'm going to be making loads of beetroot juice, and I'm going to try and clean up my diet massively because beetroots actually help to increase the blood flow to the brain, which is phenomenal. The one thing I can't really do is eat organically. There just is barely any organic food in the supermarkets around me. Finally, I'm going to be supplementing vitamin K2. Now, I don't have that just yet. It's something I've only just found out about, but it actually has a phenomenal effect on decalcifying your arteries. So I'm hoping in theory it's also going to decalcify the pineal gland through the same mechanism. Now, vitamin K2 I've never even heard of until now. It is only found in fermented vegetables such as sauerkraut and mostly in cheeses and meats. And because I am vegan and I don't eat cheese and meat, I'm kind of going to need to supplement this, and I'll see how that goes. The other thing is I really wish I'd actually taken my meditation a little bit more seriously. Instead of just like doing it in bed right before sleeping or right after waking up, I just feel like that wasn't actually very good meditation. So I'm going to be stopping and focusing on my meditation and doing it properly, and I'm going to be trying to do it for half an hour twice a day, at the very least half an hour first thing in the morning. Finally, I am going to be cutting out screen time for 90 minutes before bed. So the blue light, I think we've all heard this, but it's a horrendous disruptor to our circadian rhythms. I will let you know how I'm feeling in the third week. It was all going so well. And I guess a valuable lesson to learn is that you can be doing everything well, but if you let stress get on top of you, that's what will happen. That is all that will happen. You can't make this kind of progress if you're just sabotaged by your own stress. Everything was going well. The first few days after the second week were fantastic. They really started to come through. The meditations became really, really powerful, and I just started kind of receiving these kind of streams of knowledge, which really connected. To me, it really felt like downloads of truth. And then I guess it was, just an extremely, extremely stressful week. I've done my best to keep up with everything that I have set out to do, but I have not done it perfectly. And I really felt it. So I wanted to do something powerful for the last kind of day or two. And essentially what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is wake up very early and go for a very cold dip in a beautiful lake. And then I am going to attempt 6 hours of meditation. It's not all silent meditation. There's guided meditations in there. There's meditation music. There's guided breathing. And I will let you know how it goes. Please wish me luck.
So I filmed that in September, and it's now February. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that that experiment fundamentally changed my brain chemistry and has altered the course of my life in the most insane way. I didn't realise at the start of the experiment that what I was going to do was open myself up to energy in an incredibly raw fashion. I was surrounded by a lot of negative energy. I was living in a way that was very out of alignment with what I wanted and what my goals were and what my values were. And what you saw towards the end of that video was me having a total mental breakdown because of it. And because I'd now made myself sensitive to this, my entire life has crumbled and has been destroyed in the most spectacular fashion. But from the ashes of that, I lived the most incredible, high vibrational dream life that I could have possibly hoped for. I'll put a quick show reel at the end to show you what I've been up to the last 4 months. I have been able to live in alignment, in greater alignment with positive energy, with what I feel like the universe wants. I have received streams of information that have left me reeling for days and trying to figure out how I could possibly share this with everyone. Do not do this experiment if you are not ready to make radical changes to your life. But if you do it, good luck.